Ah, it happened again. I thought I had all the Dr. Giggles comics, but apparently there was a prequel story that I did not have, so let's talk about it. So the Dr. Giggles story that I missed actually took place in the issues Dark Horse Presents numbers 64, 65, and 66, coming out originally in 1992. These issues basically tell a little prequel story for Dr. Giggles taking place before the movie that came out. In issue 64, we see an early example of Dr. Giggles' craziness back when he was in school and he was caught almost killing a classmate, or so the grown-ups thought. In actuality, he was planning to do an appendectomy on the other student because days later, she was rushed to the hospital with appendicitis. In present day, Dr. Giggles dissects a rat before using its entrails in order to escape the nut house. Nearby, a medical student is on a date with a girl when he drugs her in order to try and roofie her. He gets the dose wrong and she dies instead of passing out. Just then, Dr. Giggles shows up and slices his throat with a scalpel. In issue number 65, Dr. Giggles sleeps overnight and gets ready for the day in the home of the couple that lie dead in the next room. He then goes to a medical school under the guise of the medical student that he just killed. After being reprimanded by the teacher for giggling during his instruction, Dr. Giggles starts an autopsy on a nearby cadaver, cutting into the body right behind the teacher's back. When the class notices, not only is Dr. Giggles proud, but he gets up and starts puppeteering the dead body using its own innards. Dr. Giggles is expelled right then and there, and Dr. Giggles tells the teacher he learned all that he needed to. Later, the teacher, who ends up being kind of a jerk to his wife and cat, is at home when we see Dr. Giggles approaching from the outside. In issue 66, Dr. Giggles breaks into Dr. Jameson's home and murders his wife and stitches her mouth shut with her eyes open. Jameson finds her and freaks out. Dr. Jameson tries to flee, but Dr. Giggles injects him with a cocktail that he himself created in order to paralyze but still allow the patient to feel everything while also making them hallucinate. Dr. Giggles then force feeds Dr. Jameson sulfuric acid. The next day in class, Dr. Giggles actually starts off and then reveals Jameson's body to the entire room. Almost immediately afterwards, police storm the classroom and Dr. Giggles is put right back in the insane asylum. This time, the asylum making sure that his cell is rat-free, preventing his escape once again. Dr. Giggles realizes that since nobody else is there for a while, he decides that for the time being, he can practice his operations on himself. So that's it. That was the prequel Dr. Giggles story, and quite frankly, I'm glad that I have these now. It is original material compared to the actual adaptation of the film that we've already seen. So I'm glad I got these. Thank you once again to the commenter for letting me know about them, and if you guys have an interest, definitely pick them up.